Oh, yeah. So, everybody that's wondering where Stacy is, she'll be here.
Yes.
Yes. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Stacy.
Right.
Yes.
She's just trying to drive through Virginia, and apparently the locals are slamming against her car and keeping her a little bit. So,
Zambies. It's all the Zambies.
yes.
The COVID Zambies. But yes, welcome to Therapy of the Absurd. How's everybody's doing? How's everybody doing?
Well, doing okay.
What you got, Dan?
Oh, I was trying to make us do a watch party from my Facebook page, and I don't know how, so I'm not doing that this week. I thought, like, I've seen it before when someone else posts something, it's like, okay, I'll do a watch party, and now I'm like, it's our own video, I can't make a watch party happen. We're just going to have to party.
It's going to have to party.
How's your day so far, besides watch parties and such?
Oh, well, it's going okay. I had to email something to HR today at my work because they were trying to have us come in physically next week, which I said, this damn pandemic is not over and I can do my job from home. And apparently there was plenty of people. So let's hope that the power of the people makes things better after COVID and more of us can work from home if we can, because that's a much better way to live, especially in California where our commutes are horrible.
Right. Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
Just want to say hey to Nate Hall in the house. Already we got great. Yeah, Nate Hall, welcome our first guest in. Big Stretch is what he says is in the house. Ready for the I love that big Stretch. All right, so well, it's I would say, like, this time last week we had not heard about Chadwick Boseman, we had not heard about John Thompson, many things, so there's this side that's still kind of like, is this freaking happening? Don't make me cuss. And it's just the stuff that that these moments in this year has been made of. But I was excited. Like, my son started college this week, started art school on Monday, first day of college, not quite how we, envisioned it, but it's here. And for someone who is a card carrying single mom, and I mean single in all of the worst ways, like baby daddy passed away, and like just everything you could name that makes one a single mother besides being unmarried. This has been a trek. So it was a very heartwarming day, despite the form of the day. And then also, I don't know if there are any Toastmasters or any in here, if anybody cares, but in the world of Toastmasters, there's been a shift in how we get our designations, and they've gone to a new program. But a bunch of us who were kind of dinosaurs who started in the old program, the cap and gown moment is to become a distinguished Toastmaster in that system. And so I was able to get it done, because it was like when 2 years ago when they rolled out the new Pathways program, then they were like, okay, anybody who wants to finish the old program, you're going to have until this year to do it. But then COVID hit and we all got extensions, and it was crazy because the one thing I needed to make it happen, I wasn't going to be able to get until July. And the year ends in June, which meant that without COVID and without the extension, I would have missed the cutoff to get this DTM that I wanted. And so it was kind of I didn't think I would be so emotional about, something that, but to its credit, I'll say this: Toastmasters is the largest volunteer organization in the world. And if anybody ever wants to up level, not just public speaking, but just understanding how organizations work without this idea that there's one manager and that there's all these workers, Toastmasters is it. Everybody wins when everybody wins. So then everybody is trying to win, because at every level, every group helps build the thing. So it's never the feeling of this one person, like I'm the manager and you got to do this. It's like all of us, I was telling somebody, like, when you're a district or area officer, you have to visit clubs. And I said, so here's the deal. If you're narcissistic and you just want to do well as an area director, you have to visit clubs to make sure they're doing well. And if you are a person of service and just want the world to do well, you have to visit clubs and make sure everybody's doing well. So whether you're narcissistic or whether you are service oriented, all the tasks are the same. Does that make any sense? So it doesn't matter if whether you want to see everybody win or you just want to win. We all have to go together.
I think that's how politics works, right?
I don't think so. I don't get that impression from politics.
Yeah, whether you're narcissistic or you really want to lift people up, yeah, you could say you do.
Hi,
it's
Ronnie.
interesting because you said Toastmaster, and I never heard of it, and I just kept thinking of people that are really good setting the dial on a toaster. It's so funny. It's
like that's you get all kind of stuff. Our joke is it has nothing to do with toasters. And then, that's what we always say. And like last night when it was so funny, I was on a mic and somebody was like, Dana, I saw where you became a DTM. And I was like, nobody cares. They were like, I do. And she said, no, it has nothing to do with toasters. And then I said, it has nothing to do with masters either. And I was like, oh snap, that's not exactly how. And
it also doesn't mean down to make toast.
Right. But when I said masters, I was kind of like thinking of this other dark concept, and I was like, okay, well, that's not as funny. Like, it was funny in my head. It's not funny now that I've said it. But I'm the only one that could make the joke. That, you know what I'm saying?
on that note,
yes.
I watched a few movies this week. I got to, actually a few actually. I got to watch The King of Staten Island. I don't know if any of y'all have seen that one yet. With
I'd want to see that one because I'm a fan.
With Pete Davidson.
Yeah. His SMD really special is hilarious.
Okay, now Pete Davidson, the great comedian from SNL, the young cat. Yep. Yeah, he's so brilliant. I know that everybody's talking about the trouble that he has, but he's brilliant. I mean, I hope that he can keep walking through that and walking to where he needs to be. But I think he's brilliant.
And then what was it a couple days back? They released the new Bill and Ted movie, Face the Music. Got to see that. That was really good. For a third movie, a lot better than it has any right to be. That's for damn sure.
Awesome.
And better than Terminator 3.
Oh, most definitely.
Claire Danes.
And then I saw the latest Harriet Tubman movie.
Oh, did you?
And that was actually I really liked it.
Yeah, like okay. I haven't watched it, and everybody was so like, oh my god. Anyway, I will. We'll be moving another day.
Oh no, that one was really good. And then I watched today. I saw the first episode for a show that just released from the acclaimed director Ridley Scott, who did the original Alien. He did Blade Runner, Gladiator.
Yes, I'm a
big. He's done so many good movies. What is it? Heaven on Earth, I think it was called. Was it Heaven on Earth? I forget. It was about the Crusades. It's not Heaven on Earth. It's called something. I forget what it is.
Yeah, the Crusades are more like Hell on Earth, but yeah.
I forget the name of it. But it was like about the Crusades. But he has a new TV series on HBO Max called Raised by Wolves.
Oh, okay, I've seen the
it's really good.
I've seen the billboard. I've seen the billboards, and I've kind of wondered.
Yeah, it's really good. Like I'm trying to explain. I don't know if you'd call her a robot or a cyborg or what, but she's sent to a planet to help colonize the planet with these 12 babies, and she has to raise them, and they've never, ever lived on that planet. So you're having to see these cyborgs or robots, if you will, raise these children and deal with, the harsh elements, the things that don't affect them, basically. And they're having to raise the kids. So it's and it also has a lot of deep philosophical and religious type undertones on some things. But the way that Ridley Scott does it, it's done in the equal amount, so it's not too much. And then tonight at midnight is a huge big deal for anyone who has Amazon Prime. The Boys season 2 is coming on, and so that's for people who like superhero stuff and maybe people who actually hate superhero stuff. Actually,
like that's the one where they're all like bad superheroes or something.
They're all basically considered, well, I wouldn't say considered, but they're all basically like human in the sense that they have flaws.
Right.
You
And I
know,
don't say bad. I shouldn't say it
oh,
like
they're all
Well,
right.
well,
Well, some are.
they're basically, it just
Gray.
mirrors what would happen if humans had those powers. I mean,
that.
unfortunately, most humans do not deal with having power very well.
Oh,
Yeah, they
well,
you
you
give
know,
someone a power and it just goes their head and something happens.
and
I've,
it.
So,
I've seen the like the trailers. It's
Oh
not.
yeah, it really humanizes the superheroes, so you can see that they're flawed as much as anybody
Nobody
else.
else.
And the boys are just basically a group of guys that have had been treated or dealt the wrong. Would you say, Dan, the wrong? Like they've just had really bad run-ins with the superheroes, I guess.
it's just
I don't know how to.
the collateral damage of superheroism. Like, I think that's my my witty way of saying the collateral damage of superheroism.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but
Mhm.
if you have not seen it, definitely get on Amazon and start it. Today's the best time to start it because you got season 1, and then midnight you're getting season 2. You got some COVID time to kill right there.
Right.
I'll admit, I actually don't watch a lot of TV and movies, and I kind of realized that was one of our segments coming up later. But the boys had me going, I want to watch the next one. I want to watch the next one. Like the
So
boys is just
good.
you're just like, dude, every
Oh,
episode something happens where you're like, that was cool. I mean, it's kind of like how people have said the Tiger King is, but I haven't watched that yet. Where like every episode just makes you go, can this get any weirder? Can this get
Yeah.
any?
Right. Everything. I don't know. Everything is not of interest now. Before, because I want to talk more about Amazon, but Nate asked a fantastic question. It makes me feel very loved. Nate says, Dana, where is your chessboard backdrop?
I'm sorry.
And I'm feeling very loved. Nate, the chessboard backdrop. Let me see if you can see the edge of it. You can't. Like it fell over. Like I was,
Oh,
I was doing a Zoom class this morning, and I reached around for something, and then it just tumbled. And so we don't. Let me see. I don't know. I don't even have. I was going to at least show you a chess piece or something to make you feel. So we got a couple of pieces, a couple of pawns here, but the whole thing, the whole board.
Yeah.
Did the Randy Watson this morning.
Yeah, Nate, Dana teaches chess, so she'd kick your ass in it, So yeah.
That's right.
But Nate, I
You can say that he's family.
Nate, I just feel honored that you asked. But you guys, like, speaking of Amazon, is it time to talk about Amazon? I think
It's time to talk about Amazon.
All right.
So, like, here's the thing. Like, before COVID hit, I was totally like the person who like ordered, like would look for specific things on Amazon and then like every blue moon order. But you guys, in COVID, I have become double prime totally because it's like they're here every day, like everything. Because I didn't know, you guys, like I didn't realize that when you're prime and there's no shipping, it doesn't matter what you spend. So it's like my son needs a pack of underwear, I need new brushes, I need lady products, I need shampoo, I need whatever. And it's not like you do when you go to the grocery store where you have to make a list and then order everything at one time. No, they're here every day. And it turns out that like even when like they're delivering to other people, they're like, hey, no, we don't have a package for you, Dana, because now we're on first name basis and everything, and it's like the same rotation of about 3 people that come every time. And then you guys, some things are delivered by the postal service because everything is not UPS. And so my mailman is bam, 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 like every day, Dana, like he's really like, and of course he doesn't know that I'm a comedian and that I could be on a Zoom at any time. So here I am scrambling. I did too many things that time. So you guys, I don't know if we can make Jeff Bezos net worth 197 billion. I don't know if we can really make him any richer. However, Amazon is like their profits first quarter and mid-year are triple. Like at the first quarter, they were 26.1% over at 75 million in sales. And then at the half year mark, let me get the figure for you because I was just kind of looking at it and just blown away. But I think it's just something someone put on Instagram one day. They're like, you could work every day for like 100 years, but you could never earn that. You could not make an hourly great enough to earn $100 billion.
Yeah.
Like, and this man is worth almost $200 billion. And like, if you've ever on Netflix, they have an amazing documentary series that they call Explained. And so everything explained. And so there's the racial wealth gap, but then there's, oh my gosh, I should have gotten this together because I didn't even think I would roll to this, but there's a whole like billionaires explained, and it talks about the levels, and there's a diagram within the whole thing where you show like an island of this type of billionaire. So you've got like Oprah and like, you know, Bill Gates, and then you've got like his name is escaping me, not Jeff, but like I'll say it like this: there's like 3 islands, there's 3 tiers. Jeff Bezos is on an island by himself, literally.
Yeah, especially after the divorce.
You know, things. So, you know, but I think that's amazing, even when you talk about that, like that, you know, divorce or no divorce. I think what was funny is like, I remember, and I don't know, hey, Lauren Bowman, I remember when Johnny Carson, because at the time of, in the days of Johnny Carson, you know, entertainment news wasn't everything, right? And it wasn't all the rage, but it was a very big deal when Johnny Carson, and that's what set the precedence for all the jokes that you hear today. When people talk about she's getting half, that all is from the Johnny Carson period, because when he was divorcing, it was reported that his wife was going to get half. And I will never forget seeing Richard Pryor do his stand-up, and he said, ain't told nay a joke, but she's gonna get half. Like that was the whole thing. Like she ain't you know, but she's gonna get half. And so even when I read that, you know, Jeff Bezos was divorcing and all of that, I was like, but here's the thing, at the end of the day, the truth is, why did he even start a publishing, selling books thing out of his garage? Why? Because the woman that he loved was a writer. So as far as I'm concerned, he is where he is today, chasing love. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you could call it what you want to. Yeah, like Eddie, someone just made the comment, like, but Eddie Murphy, all of them, that all of those jokes came from that Johnny Carson situation. But
I was upset to learn how much money that Paul McCartney, you know, lost to someone who only has to buy one shoe. No one gets that joke. Heather Mills, she has one leg. Anyway, but no, like she was only married to him like a few years, and she ends up getting like half. Like, oh, I need to live off of like $9 million a month. No, you don't. God, you took the nicest guy who had a wife that died of cancer, that was one of the coolest wives ever, and then you took advantage of him. We all see through your shit. I'm sad that Paul McCartney didn't.
That was tough one. But here's the thing, I think at the end of the day, like, you know, it's hard. I think for me, it's always like hard to have sympathy, because, you know, everybody, you gotta pay attention. You gotta do whatever. And if you have a lot to lose, then you have to be paying a whole lot of attention. But like, I just want to say this about Amazon, like the company's 88 billion in sales were better than any other quarter in history, you guys, like, because we had disease this year. This is all because we had disease this year. This is all because, like, 88 billion. Like, that's this year they made, in every quarter this year, I'm sorry, after first quarter into second quarter, more than Christmas, more than any other like holiday shopping quarter. You know, fourth quarter is coming up. And so I'm just saying, like, every comedian, all of us are just like, they come every day. Like, that's my boyfriend, that's my everything. And so, like I said, I'm double prime, because I just feel like they're coming every day. And it has started back up for me, because like I have to, you know, order like I realized I needed a special brush for the hair that I have to purchase, and I have to purchase the hair, like, and they have everything. And of course, because they own Whole Foods, it's just like, I just feel like it's crazy. Like, even this year I decided that, okay, I will I get all these emails like, please review, and like I usually never care, like, because I don't order enough. But I was like, you know what, I'll write a review, because they're like, can you rate your experience in the marketplace? And I'm like, okay, sure. So you guys, I go into the email and I just want to rate everything with the stars, just, you know, 5 stars, because I have no complaints. You know, why would I? And then I went to submit it, and it was like, you must write a review and you must give it a title. So I was like, Jeff Bezos, Amazon, y'all gonna bully me? Like, now I gotta be bullied into writing a review? That's what this is? I was like, okay. So the review, it was title, great. That's all I wrote. Title, great. Review, it was. And then they were like, doesn't meet letter count, word count. I was like, whatever. I'm out. That's
when you just put meow 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 meow.
Right. Like, y'all got my money, so whatever. So anyways, and you guys, like I said, it's just and I feel like it's caught on, because I feel like my neighbors even started ordering more Amazon after I was ordering more Amazon. But like, all I can say is this is the times that we live in. This is the times that we live in.
Ronnie got blocked.
Ronnie got blocked.
Ronnie, you got beef? You got beef?
The thing about I kind of have a beef with Jeff Bezos and the billionaire class, and here's the reason why. If most of us had Jeff Bezos money and we were during the pandemic, we found out all this unemployment stuff, we go, sure, I could give $4 billion away in a year and to people that need it, and yeah, if you do the math, it gets people through a couple months or something. But he would be a savior to the people. Hey, Stacy, happy birthday!
Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
I'm so late, guys. I'm in the middle of nowhere, like, okay. Like, my biggest concern about speeding here wasn't a DUI or anything like that. Not a speeding ticket. It was deer. Okay.
Right.
Oh, dinner.
We have something for that later, by the way. You're gonna love it.
Did you see any deer? Did you see any?
Yes, I saw several down the highway.
Right.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to the time difference here.
Right.
Thank you, Glow. Thank you. Yeah, I was trying to tell my waiter. I went to Colonial Williamsburg to have dinner with my family for my birthday. Thank you, Ronnie. And my waiter was like, our cocktails are handcrafted, artisan, like they are perfection, like they're made to perfection. And thank you, Lauren. And I was like, I like gin. Thank you, Nate. I was like, I like gin, but it doesn't work for me. Can I substitute gin with vodka? And they're like, we don't do that. We do not do that at all. And I'm like, you did that yesterday. I was here. And they were like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I was here yesterday. Like, who can't substitute gin with vodka? Like, what is the big difference?
Well, to be fair, I've tried to use that to get stuff like, yeah, can I have a free blah, blah, blah? And they go, what? And I go, well, I was here yesterday and Joe gave it to me. They go, what? Yeah, I was here yesterday. They gave me a free one. Oh, okay, I guess we will. I wasn't there yesterday.
I didn't even get anything for free. The cocktails were like fucking $15. I was like, just substitute gin for vodka. Like, I'm still paying for it. I'll pay more if you want. But apparently they're so well handcrafted that it's nearly impossible. And then I mentioned the whole thing about yesterday and they did it. And I was like, really? This is all you had to do? But you guys, I have to tell you, I did the craziest thing yesterday for our podcast. Nice. I did my first ever ghost tour.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. The craziest thing. So I did a Colonial Williamsburg ghost tour. Mm-hmm. And it was fucking boring. So fucking boring. I was over that shit within the first 10 minutes. However, I did what I did. And I was like, I made sure, like, once the tour was over, I was like, I made sure everybody left. And I was like, hey, dude, if I, like, give you some money on the side, can you, like, take me back to that haunted house? I felt like I was, like, picking a guy up, but for ghosts.
What for ghosts? No, that's a good one.
I swear I won't make you do stuff when we get there.
I just want to see the ghosts.
Let's play with that box of yours. It's the spirit box, guys, you dirty nasties.
There's always a pickup line if your name is Jack using box. So.
Holy
yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. I've never done anything like this, but because of all the guests that we've had and Ghost Adventures, fucking Ghost Adventures, and your fucking fake shit. But
Like, so is that your new thing, Stacey? Like Ghost Adventures? Like,
I've actually always secretly enjoyed watching it when I had the forward button available to me. Like, if it was really stupid, I could just skip ahead 10 seconds. But I still enjoyed it. And it was never like I was always just like, I'm gonna whatever, interesting. But with talking to our couple of guests that we've had, I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. So I did. We had the tour at 12 a.m. It was just me and a friend who I was like, hold the camera, girl. Hold the camera. That's all you have. And so she helped me. And we have some really crazy footage that I did not expect in any way. Apparently, the house we went to, Peyton Randolph or something, is one of the most haunted houses in Virginia.
oh,
I don't know. I honestly am completely clueless over this stuff, but the experience was crazy. You guys kind of saw a sneak peek, but we'll have that footage out to you guys next week.
woo,
I am sad to say that I was not drunk enough to do what we did. Yeah.
yes.
Awesome.
Sounds good. Well, before we get into our next stuff, Dana, was there anything more you wanted to say about Jeff Bezos, or?
You know what? That I just totally I admire him. Like it's interesting. Like, I guess, what do I have? Like 30 seconds, 45 seconds left on it.
No, there's more.
Just it's interesting. I was with Comedy Sisters a couple of days ago, and somebody was fussing about it being a capitalist country and that we, just with resources. And
Someone
I think,
like me.
yes, but I think the thing is, like, capitalism and democracy were two very great ideologies to build a country. But they are just ideologies that when you continue to match them together, have done what they've done. They've kind of bankrupt and bankrupt people and exploited resources. And so I really, there just has not been a paradigm shift ever. Like, I mean, because for there to have been a shift, for there to not be a Jeff Bezos, that would have at least been a good 100 years back, at least 150 years back of shifting the way government, not just government, but because I think there's nothing wrong with democracy, but when you combine it with capitalism, which at the core of it all is just competition, who can have the most, be the biggest,
Well, yeah, that was Carnegie and Rockefeller for a long time.
Right, but for there to be a Carnegie and a Rockefeller, you still had a climate at its core that didn't question that. And then those are some of the folks that came along and, to me, extracted the best of it and become the those that go down in history as they have. So for me, I can't be mad at Jeff Bezos because he's just a product of a system that hasn't been stopped. Last thing I'll say, though, is that he also put up like a Black Lives Matter. And I mean, here's the thing, we were having our pre-show conversation. I'm not easily sold, but I've been Black all my life. And I've gone through what anybody has gone through in terms of feeling powerlessness. No, I've never run up on a Klansman. And anybody at that level that is at least willing to put reputation and brand on the line, even if it is for 24, 36, 72 hours, I got to give it some love. You know what I'm saying? You can't, whatever. Yeah. Do I also order from mom and pops? I do. Like I was just now putting some oil on my face before we started. I ordered that from a company called Legends Creek. It's a small company out of somewhere. Mom and pop, the stuff that my son puts on his skin for his acne. Mom and pop. You know what I'm saying? So I try to balance it out. But Jeff Bezos, God bless his soul, is a product of of what we live in and just the
Yeah.
prairies at this point until that ship is steered in a completely different direction. I do agree with you, Dan. You hope that people will use their powers for good. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's just he could easily right now be paying his warehouse workers $25 an hour and still have enough money for golden toilets, and he chooses not to. And that's, I think, is a problem with our rich culture, because the guys I mentioned before, Carnegie and Rockefeller, were in a competition on who could give away the most money to people who needed it. And that is not our rich culture today.
Right.
You know, they weren't the greatest people, but our rich culture today isn't so great. But hey, it's time to bring on our guest. You want to play that video of our guest,
sir.
Mr. Ed
Yes, sir.
Namrok?
Here we go.
Whoa, what the fuck is this? And you know what's fucked up is the song was over and they cut to a fucking commercial. So they never announced the fucking name of the band. I went to school the next day going, whoa, dude, I heard this fucking song. They kept saying, fuck you, I won't do it to tell me. And they're looking at me like, you just discovered one of the best upcoming quote unquote rock bands of this generation. And no one was really into them because it was kind of cliche to be into this band. I'm getting into this band now. That was Rage Against the Machine's debut album. The one with the fucking Vietnamese Buddhist monk in Saigon fucking self-immolating himself, basically pouring gas and burning himself. My mom heard this and she thought for a fact, she's like, wait a minute, this is much worse than the music you've been listening to. Why do you want me to buy you this? She heard the articulation and the clarity of the words, especially when he was saying fuck, you know, shit, all this shit.
And that was our guest, Ed Namrok. Hey, from the Ed Namrok podcast.
What's up? What's
Hey,
up?
that was some good fucking shit right there, Ed. You know, let me just add to that.
I was hoping to not offend anyone, especially Dana. I know how Dana can get a little.
You're good.
I'm
No,
just saying. I'm
it's
just
when I
saying.
get on the dirty stuff. It's not the cussing, it's the
I
dirty
was
stuff.
it sounds like y'all been talking about me.
No.
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having me on.
No, he was
Stacey
just
Mary,
worried
by
that
the way.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was just worried that the F words might offend you. That's all.
Offend who?
No.
Not me.
Oh no, me. But no, like
No, that's all.
Yeah.
He was just trying to be respectful and was just trying to get what we might think. That's all.
Ed's been watching our
Just-
show and catching who does the fucks. So
Okay. I'm running really late, but I have to ask Dana. Please don't hate me. Please don't hate me. But what's with the good times JJ had?
oh, because I'm like every woman in America. When the hair has to be done, you got to put a hat on. Like that's really it. Like when it's time for the hair to be done. Like so we're all, you know, I like so here's the hair. We just gotta go, we gotta put this is the hair in the back.
That's right.
here's the hair.
That's right.
That's the hair. And so the hair
I did my
Big
beer
split.
yesterday, so it came from Jeff Bezos as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
so
that's
Ed,
it. Like you just have to, but I have to give my hair a break, and then I have to then add my other hair, but I gotta give this a little, you know, a little.
I like the hat. I think it's
Yeah.
I love it. It just kept thinking dynamite every time.
Right.
I know why.
Good old 70s classic. Like I'm definitely a kid of my era. 70s bucket hats are everything.
Oh no, I love those hats.
They're coming back.
Right.
Yeah, they're coming back.
And I'm leading the charge right here.
Yeah. Denim is sexy.
so Ed has the Ed Namrok podcast, and he does this like at 10:30 at night usually. When I'm up doing dishes to get husband points or some shit like that. He's doing the Ed Namrok, podcast. He has some interesting, guests on there. The other day he had DJ Styles who was talking about getting shot. So that was fun for a guy like me who, you mean there's guns in your neighborhood? What is that like? And so Ed, tell us, how long have you been podcasting? What made you do it?
2012, I started. So it's been approximately 8 years already.
Oh, damn.
And initially, so check this out. Initially, what I started doing, unbeknownst to me as a kid growing up in LA, I would always walk around with a talk boy. Do you guys remember that?
Oh yeah, from Home Alone 2.
Yes, it's a portable recorder, Dana. I don't know if you remember, but I would always interview people just for fun, just good times, whatever. So I have a bunch of archive tapes. So I started there. Fast forward, I go to audio school. Me and Dan are kind of on the same geekiness of audio. We call it audiophilia for lack of a better term, but it started there. I was inspired by, of course, Mr. Joe Rogan. He started doing it on this thing called Ustream and Justin TV. Mm-hmm. And I started doing it. Then Adam Carolla followed suit, followed by, what's his name? The guy that plays Silent Bob again, Kevin Smith.
Yep.
So I've been doing the freestyle thing for a long time. I mean, I'm also a musician too, but it started around 2012. I didn't start taking it seriously till about 2013, and the technical aspect of it I already knew. The content aspect for me, it just comes naturally because I can. You're talking to a guy who sold cell phones at those kiosks. You guys remember those kiosks?
Oh man, screw you guys!
For about 10 years. Oh, but I reeled you in like fish out of water. I just got you.
So you're why you would tell me like it's only $5 more a month and then be like $50. How dare you, Ed?
It would be 35. 35.
You're the guy. You're the
you
guy.
Don't blatantly lie. You stress the truth.
I signed up with Singular Wireless in a mall. And everybody knows Singular is now, got bought by AT&T, but I still
That's
have
what I used to work for.
Right. And I signed up in a mall kiosk, and I remember they were like, we got to run your credit. And I was like, okay. Okay. Roll of the dice. But I still have the very same phone number from whatever that year was. I want to say it was 2005 or whatever. I got that cell phone.
Wow.
Singular. I still have it. It's so funny that you say that.
I hope I wasn't the one that sold it to you.
It was a woman. I remember there was a woman.
Vulture.
But it was give me their phone number. I can tell. I was like, you were a Singular customer, because all of us who were Singular customers, we all seem to get numbers from the same. Like our first 3 digits are the same. And I was like, you were a Singular.
Oh, okay.
It's just a weird thing. I'm a numbers person. Everybody knows I'm a numbers person. Yeah.
Oh, what's funny, there was a certain prefix that a lot of people liked at the time, and it was the 323 and the 213 numbers. It was 450.
Okay.
And it was the 326 numbers. I remember that vaguely. I don't know if you have one of those twos, but we're not giving away your number at public right now. So
I have 323-633, but I have met other people with 323-633, and I'm like, you guys, we were all Singular people. I already know what y'all are doing. And then it's just a thing. But you know what, Ed? Funny you mentioned the talk. I've never heard of it, but again, I've had enough birthdays. I used to record people on cassette. I have tons of cassettes around from my music days of interviewing music artists and whatever. And then digital, when they digital recorders. So I definitely feel you on. I've never heard of a talk boy, but I know exactly what you're saying.
Well, an early inspiration of mine was Arsenio Hall. I don't know if that's before everyone's time. So
very much.
So Ed, what topics have been the most popular for your show? What is what are the people tuning in to see on the show?
Me reacting to different things on Twitter, politics, of course. Most recently it was Black Lives Matter, of course, because I went to 2 rallies back to back, and of course music stuff. A lot of people like to cover music, which is totally fine with me because I've covered everything from the 2 Live Crew, infamous As Nasty As They Want to Be cover, and the entire album to Slayer, Rain and Blood, because that's growing up in LA, that's all I've ever. It was either gangbanging or music. That's pretty much what you had to choose. So, but most recently, what I've been noticing people want to know about is the propositions. The California proposition. So I did a podcast covering all that, and I broke it down, and I think Dan tuned in for the entire thing, and he's like, man, thank you for covering that. That was so helpful. I was trying to be so nonpartisan with it, but there were just some propositions that just hit home for me, and they're very personal. I'm just like, oh, I gotta say something about this, because Dana, I consider myself a political orphan. That's really what I am. It's like the left-right paradigm to me is my 2 divorced parents, and I'm the child that's suffering because they're trying to fight over custody over me. That's basically what I feel like. Yeah.
I saw that you had done a show on the propositions, and I think that's super powerful stuff. Like I've always been into voter education, even since my college days, and being in California and you guys, you probably know this, Ed, but like there is no other state in the union that is as savvy and as involved as people here.
Absolutely.
And it's possible for you to stand in front of a grocery store and get people to sign so that you can get propositions on a ballot. And like that doesn't. I think that the opportunity exists, but no one in other states rather takes it. And I've lived in DC, I've lived in Louisiana, Georgia, I've lived in all these places. Never. And I just thought it was very powerful because that's what we all need to be able to decipher and understand what a bond is. Because I've had college teachers to say this is what it's going to be. The kids are going to pay that back. So whenever you see that, just know that if you're saying yes to that, you're saying yes to debt for your children. You're saying yes to debt.
Correct.
Down the line, And I'm there. Anyway,
California has always been the poster child for grassroots campaigning, grassroots lobbying, grassroots protesting. I've never been more proud of my state. I know it's a little messy right now, but we're going to clean it up. Everything's going to be fine. I'm one to not just bail like all these people moving to Texas.
No, because then you got to live in Texas.
It's like I have a little more pride than that of my state. So, and I love my state, and there's a reason why people move here because the weather's great. So
hey, what do some people joke about? They say it's especially certain men. They say it's like divorce because it's expensive because it's worth it. I guess.
We're having a divorce party.
I am vacationing, but I'm not really vacationing in Virginia right now. It is so humid. It is so humid. It feels like a freaking sauna right now.
What does it do? What does that do to a woman's hair?
I don't care. Well, luckily, I won't have a problem with it. I don't know if anybody else will, but my skin is awful right now. And you know what?
So it's a skin thing. Okay.
Not only that,
and swamp
there
ass
are
too. Probably get swamp ass. Ew, you nasty. But
make my balls even more.
Mosquitoes everywhere, and like I'm getting bit like no other, and I'm apparently delicious. Like I'm like going to cut my sugar because I really don't want to get bit anymore. Like the sprays aren't working anymore.
But it's the gin.
And then humidity, like in New Orleans, it's bad too. And I lived in DC a couple of years, it's bad. So your hair is frayed. Like I've never had straight hair, so I don't have that issue. But it does, like even if you have curly hair, you go from
I have curly hair,
to big high volume to like this kind of whatever. And
man, I would pay dearly for that one.
Right. Like everybody, like in New Orleans, girls would they would wrap their hair and come to school in a scarf, and I'm sure they do it in DC and in Virginia as well. You wrap your hair until you get to school, and then you take your hair down.
Wow,
it is so hot. I feel like this is what men feel with their. Okay.
Yeah.
Like I am sweating everywhere, drenched, and I'm like, I hate this. I really hate this. Why am I outside? Like
it's like a really bad Disneyland trip.
Ronnie.
And this is how my hair. Look at my makeup, okay? This makeup was intact a couple of hours ago. I look gorgeous, okay? I was in fucking model a couple hours ago. It's gone.
Yeah.
After some heat and humidity, a lot of us guys look like just a grandfather clock with a pendulum swinging. So.
Oh my Lord!
Hey, Ed, we've gone through only a couple questions, but we don't have too many more. But one more. You and I were once talking. You got any negative experiences of podcasts? Any threats, anything like that?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I have.
Come on, tell the people.
Well, usually because, especially when it comes to the politics stuff, I get attacked a lot by my leftist friends and my right wing friends as well. So it's like I'm not
Democrat enough and liberal enough. I'm not conservative or Republican enough. I'm just like right there. I'm just like, okay, the best analogy I can use is the word Chicano. So Chicano, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Selena with Jennifer Lopez. So the dad, Edward James Olmos, is like, we have to be more Mexican than the Mexicans. We have to be more American than the Americans. It's exhausting. So it's like, it's a rock in the hard place. I've had people call me a sellout. I have people call me a Mexican Uncle Tom, this and that, and I'm like,
I'm sorry. You can say what's a Mexican? What is that? What is that? What is it? What people say that? What is that?
Uncle Tomas. It's Uncle Tomas.
Yeah, Uncle Tomas. It's basically selling your people out in a sense where you have whitened your approach.
No, I get it, but I didn't think like as someone who grew up hearing Uncle Tom often, we know that it comes from hearing Joe's story, Uncle Tom's Cabin. I had no idea that in Latino culture, that people, I figured when I said, what is an Uncle Tom? I figured you were going to tell me like some other completely different name. You're just saying that you guys generally say Uncle Tomas. Like you don't have like some other, I thought there was some other word.
Uncle Juan, there you go. Nate hit it on the head. There you go, Uncle Juan. The other term we use is cactus, nopal, and that's a very, very like direct term. Like like nopal. You walk around and you're preaching whatever you're preaching, but yet you look in the mirror and you're still brown.
No. Sorry, I'm gonna correct you because I run into this issue all the time. Okay. Apparently, I'm a frickin'. Apparently, I'm a coconut. I'm brown outside, but white inside. Okay, that's how people refer to me.
The way we say Oreo, you guys say coconut. We say Oreo in the African.
I've heard several times. Yeah,
the same way. But
and I'm probably doing myself.
You have the perfect. Ed, you have the perfect way to respond to this. You just say anything for Selena.
Well, I know in the Asian community they say Twinkie. That's for people who aren't Asian
enough. Glow, what is pocha? Yeah. I've heard that so many times. I've even gone to a restaurant that has really great margaritas called pocha. Yeah. What is pocha? I honestly
to me it sounds like another euphemism for a part, but but I'm a really white guy.
You know what? I'll give you the African American comparison of a pocha. It would be Wayne Brady.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
My people love him. No.
Right.
Yes. It would be Wayne Brady.
And because
I don't get it.
Well, because most people like Paul Mooney, the great comedian,
I love him.
Enough respect because he's, whatever. He's got a pretty dark past, but
he keeps it 100.
Yeah, he's a great comedian.
110.
But he like a few years ago, built stage time off of beating the shit out of Wayne Brady in terms of not being black enough, and not, and just being an absolute sellout and absolute like just over the top. Like, I mean, I feel like if there was ever a place where I had issue with Paul Mooney, that would be it. Because I was like, because again, then it becomes the fight. And I don't know if you guys, again, in the Latino community go through this. There's a point where you will say, okay, you calling somebody a sellout, but it just means it also sounds like that being broke is how you stay woke or how you stay current. And you're mad at somebody because they've done what they had to do to make progress for their family and for their pocket. And I don't know if there's a point where I don't know if you just have to keep calling a sellout, because the other side of it is, so then somebody like they used to all, like before Kanye kind of, I guess, went wherever he went, there's the 5% movement, but there's like, they used to call like Kanye, Talib Kweli, like the backpackers, like all like Erica Bode, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was this idea that if you were down, you didn't really have anything. So I love Paul Mooney and so much respect for his brilliance, but I feel like I kind of had a little issue because like you kind of going in a little hard on the brother.
Yeah.
Well,
he goes hard in the paint 100% though. That's just his style.
Right.
But I mean, pocha, it basically means like Mexican born here. And sometimes a friend of mine speaks his Spanish very pocho, meaning it's very choppy, not very fluent. That was my first language, so I speak it fluently. I don't speak Castilian Spanish, which is like the British rendition of Spanish because it comes from Spain. But
okay, do this a lot.
The Castilian Spanish.
Hey guys, Castilian.
Maybe that's exactly what I am, but here's the crazy thing, and this is what I will stick to. Guess who was the interpreter for their parents? Okay, I was the one that read the bills. I was the one that had to learn Spanish in order to help my parents. Okay,
so true.
Which is so dope.
Like, suck it. Call me whatever you want, but at the end of the day, I know Spanish and I know English, even if it's a little choppy. It's sexy.
I'm gonna call you.
I want to shout out. We're gone from the Wayne Brady conversation, but I do want to shout out Ronnie Schooner. How do I say Ronnie's last name?
Schoonover.
Schoonover. Thank you, Ronnie. Great shout out because in response to all of the Paul Mooney shit, Wayne Brady did go on Chappelle's show, and I forgot about that. That was like
that's one of the best.
Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
Yeah,
that's
and I forgot that shit was funny. Like I felt like that was. I felt like you could not have had a better. If anything, Paul Mooney set him up for a great comeback. Paul Mooney set him up for a great way.
Hey Dave, get in the car.
And Chappelle, I thought, but I forgot about that. Ronnie, thank you.
Eat your sandwich, Dave.
Yeah, don't make me bust the cap.
So here's the thing: is that Ed, when I originally talked to him and about what you want to do on the show, he goes, "I want to do a little bit of a reverse interview on you guys."
Yes.
And he's got a question or two. It depends how many we get to that he wants to ask us. So what's your first question there?
Well, this is kind of like a very thought-provoking question I'll ask each one of you guys. What is the wisest thing you have ever heard someone say? Kind of like, whoa, like that moment.
I want to answer this one. Okay.
All right.
I was dating a cardiologist, and if you don't know, it's a doctor for your heart, right?
I'm sure you didn't say proctologist.
I thought it was a dermatologist.
So we were in bed and we were chilling, and he said, it's really easy to kill somebody where they don't bleed. And he explained it in complete medical terms.
Oh, I gotta go, guys.
I was like, what in the fuck?
You're so romantic, sir.
I was like,
frickin' way.
And the worst part was, I was like, that's so sexy and scary at the same time.
All right, I'm feeling you. Keep going.
I was like, break it down.
And that is the wisest thing I've ever heard someone say.
You're so hot. He's like, you want to know where I hide bodies? Oh, yeah. Tell me.
That's hilarious.
Dating a serial killer. Oh,
right.
God, but it's so sexy the way you said it. Oh, God, I'm going to fucking die here.
Right. Are you
He's a keeper, as Nick says.
That's where I go, I forgot something in my car. I'll be right back. Just fucking drive off, dude. Where's she going? Oh, she'll be back.
Anybody else got something they've heard someone say?
I thought we were all answering the questions. No.
Yes, please do. Please do.
Like open it up to the next.
I was gonna say one of the things that I had on my wall for the longest time is a quote by a gentleman named Horace Mann, and the quote was, "Be ashamed to die until you've won some victory for humanity." I really like that one. A lot of my buddies really hated it. I'm serious, man. They'd come over to my dad's house and see it on the wall and be like, "Why I got to put that on the wall, bro? I just want to live. I want to live, bro. That's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure."
Wow.
I'm like, yeah. So
that's deep. That is deep. If I come in your house, I'm like, "Hey, so what's up with that quote right there, man?
Why are you putting pressure on me, man? I got enough pressure."
Yeah, man.
Wow.
How much time I got here?
That's what the cardiologist said.
What do you got there, Dana?
I know. I think it's a powerful question. Like, because in my head, I was just like I've read so many quotes and quotables. Like, and if you start Like John Coltrane has some great things to say. But all of a sudden, like, so when you say, what is the widest thing I've ever heard? I feel like everybody has all this great stuff that has a great edge. Mine is kind of like solemn. So I heard someone say once that cost is only an issue in the absence of value. And and so mine needs all this context, right? Because I thought we were doing something different, because otherwise I just would have come on my John Coltrane. Anyway, so because when you're trying to sell anything, people will only have an issue if they don't see the value. And so when you're like, so it was just this idea, because I had always when I was in college, I was like the person on the student government who like put together all of the homecoming concerts and all this stuff. And it was always interesting to me, like people like, we should have so-and-so. And then as soon as you say we're going to have this great artist, and then you tell them the ticket price, well, they only got 2 songs. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because all of a sudden now we've got to put a price to what you really think about it. And that's going to tell me, the value. Like, but if you're saying, oh, I'll pay X amount of dollars to see so-and-so, that means you've placed a value. So cost, when people get ready to spend money, there is only an issue about cost depending on what the value is for them. If they see that it has value, because you can, I'm just trying to think of anything that we all think is some crazy price, but like
Mulan, $29.99.
Right there it is. That's a great thing. Like, so if that is a value,
just say 30.
Yeah, like, so if that's valuable to you, then you're not going to have an issue with that cost. But if you're like, I don't really like that, then you're not, that's not going to be your thing. And I just think when you put it that way, it puts everything into perspective.
So what was that? What was the value they sold you on at Singular Wireless, Dana?
First of all, man, I was sweating, hoping that I had good enough credit to get a cell phone. Let's just put it right there. And in that moment, it didn't really matter what they said. The fact that I was okay, because at that moment, like, I had cell phones and shit had gone left and right in life, and I couldn't seem to like afford one. So this was a moment of fucking truth, right? So like, we were getting ready to go on me and my son were getting ready to take a bus ride from California to Arkansas. So I needed to have a right. And it was humiliating to be a grown one with a child and not have one. So she could have, I mean, there would have been, just to your point, there would have just been a price that would have been out of the range, like more than what I could pay. I would have, but up to that point, whatever she said was going to work, because as long as we had credit to get it,
Okay. Just to add very briefly, okay, the new Mulan movie brought back Christina Aguilera for the Reflection song. Basically, this is the remake to Christina Aguilera. She just added a little more like that's the only
she did the hand movement too.
Yeah. Like the note is like
yeah.
Okay. Now that ruined my
that's so
chances,
good.
and I was like, I'm not watching Mulan anymore. After I saw that, that's basically what they're gonna do to the movie. It's just that
her Pee-wee Herman thing.
So fun fact,
Oh my
I
God.
know Dan's got an answer. So I did not, like, I was not today years old, but like I was like, so Christina Aguilera is like, when she first came out, I was like, is she Latina? Like, this is like, I'm just kind of like, her hair is so blonde. Like, this is someone, trying to open up to all culture and understand. But like, did people speak negatively of her from the Latina community for the blonde hair because you don't, other than seeing that name, you don't know, like, at least I'll say this, I didn't know. And I'm talking about the beginning of her, not now, but
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it's her dad that's Hispanic and wasn't really involved in her life. And she's never really owned up the Hispanic part to it. But in reality, though, there's actually like full Mexicans that have either really, really blonde hair and blue eyes or are ginger and have green eyes. Like, I made that mistake a couple of times. I've come to realize, don't do that anymore.
Right.
But yeah, there are people that are actually Mexican that have incredible, like, you would never guess that they're Hispanic. So
got it.
Yeah.
These were questions in her early career, I think, but I think she's talented. It still wouldn't make me pay for Mulan, but I do think she's gifted.
I heard the video unintentionally, and I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not getting Mulan anymore."
I mean, I want to see it.
There'll be a Reddit stream somewhere.
There's no Mushu.
To watch it for free.
Why would I want to pay to watch Mulan without Mushu?
That was a deal breaker for me.
Yeah, I want to show my daughter, but I'm not paying $30. You know.
Well,
you can do what my dad did. Just go find the guy that sells the bootleg version.
Right?
just
like $5.
Just set up the Fire Stick and you're good.
Have been closed, okay? It's not in theaters, so it's gonna be pirated somehow.
Fire Stick. Just said it. Just get the Fire Stick.
What were we gonna say, Dan?
oh, nothing. I'm waiting my turn.
I can't wait for his reply.
All right. My turn. This is for evangelicals who think that Trump is Christian, and for QAnon supporters. It's from Mark Twain that says it's easier to fool someone than to convince them they have been fooled.
Oh, that's so good. Yes.
And that's because humans are prideful, people, and they get into their own beliefs and stuff, and then it's like, yeah, but what did you base that off of? Was there like any honest evidence or something? Shut up. That's how it becomes,
you liberal.
You liberal. The funny thing is I took the political test that you took a long time ago, Ed.
Yeah.
And it told me that I was like super libertarian left.
Yeah.
Which is funny to me because there are I have talked to certain left people on certain things and they think I'm conservative. It's like, wait, but you didn't ask me about universal health care and subsidized college and all the other things. It's like, why don't you talk? Why do people only talk about the things they want to disagree with? It's like, that's about it. And it does seem to be that way. Like the most vocal people on many sides sometimes tend to be, they tend to only want to talk to people about something so they can own that person and then post it to Facebook. I owned a lib today. And it's like, the tough thing is I think that your political preference is not a choice, just like your sexual preference, just like a bunch of other things. You're just born with that, and what appeals to you. And if you're an politically orphaned person, that's because, there's stuff on both sides that appeal to you, and there's stuff on both sides that do not appeal to you. And that's why I understand that, bud. But hey, we got a little bit more show to go. You want to hang out with us, Ed, for a little bit?
Hell yeah. I'm in it to win it, baby. Come on.
Well, and away from politics, just all I have to say is everybody vote. And I'm not going to. I'm not taking the high road. I do care who you vote for. I do care.
I do too.
Vote Biden Harris. The people try to say I don't care, but no. I give a fuck. Vote Biden Harris, please.
I am voting. Yes, Dana, I'm with you. I'm going to vote for stagnation over further destruction as well.
Right. The great actress and comedian Amanda Seales was like, people are saying they don't know what Biden and Harris's agenda is, but we know exactly what this fool's agenda is, and we don't want that. So there's not. This is not a buffet.
Okay, quick 1 minute story, okay? So I went to the boat, like I mentioned before today, right? In order for me to go to the lake where the boat was, I had to go through Redneck County, okay? I saw so many Trump tents, banners on people's lawns, and I was like, fuck. I'm going to get shot today. There were ammunition things, and I'm like, okay, this is my reality. I'm like, I was legit scared. It's to that point where I'm really scared for my own life. Being a minority, that's what it is.
Man, this country.
I've encountered that issue before. It's pretty interesting, especially in good old San Bernardino.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I used to go out with a friend. Sorry, I'm dragging this on, but I used to go out with a friend. We used to go out at 2 a.m. to various neighborhoods dressed as nice as we could. This was a fun thing we used to do. I've been to Watts. I've been to South Central. Nowhere was I more scared than San Bernardino, and I'm sorry, it was the white tweakers. The white tweakers that freak me out more than anybody else. The white tweakers are scary people. I mean, they're going to knit something for you really fast, but like other than that, they're freaky.
Y'all, Brent is like $2,000 for a studio in LA right now. You're getting the cholos too. Bless your souls, because I would be no. 18th Street's hanging out in Fontana with y'all. Good luck.
So
they're selling T-shirts.
Stefan, if you share my screen, this is a little bit of politics that you can enjoy with us. Missouri lawmakers passed bill making it legal to give guns to kids without parents' permission.
Oh, Lord.
Now this title, of course, you always have to read the article to find out exactly what's going on. But what's interesting here is what happened is there was a Republican lawmaker who was asking to penalize people who criminals who unlawfully use firearms and then pass them off to children to avoid protection. Now, the Republican House was afraid that if you wrote this law as he wrote it, that you would punish grandparents and family members who took their nieces, nephews, and grandkids shooting without the parents' permission. They thought, that's going to punish them because, don't we realize that most murders happen with someone you know? Yes. They do not happen from a stranger. They happen from someone you know, someone who has, someone in your household or something like that. So you really want it going with that one uncle who talks about the Illuminati, go shooting with that fucker? Like, no, I don't want him going without my kid's permission. And of course, where did this happen? Missouri.
Wow. Show me state. You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Yeah, I want to show you my gun. What are you, like 5? Here, shoot this shit.
Here's a machine gun, son.
That's an accurate depiction, actually.
I think that as far as a kid having a kid can go shooting a gun, but this was really mostly pointed at when they wanted to penalize people for giving a kid a gun. It was to giving a kid a gun to own. Why should a kid actually own a certain calibers of guns just because some adult gives them to him? It's like, especially when you have a high teen suicide rate in America, it's like, this is not a good idea.
Not even that. Hormones. Why would you trust a teenage girl to make logic and sense? Like, she'd be like, fuck this boy. He doesn't fucking love me. I'm gonna go fucking shoot him. Like,
fuck.
I'm gonna make him love me.
Hell, how about a teenage boy? I've been there where you're fuming because she broke up with you, and all you can think about is that for days. It's like, oh yeah, give that fucker a gun. No, don't do that.
I think again the idiocracy of this country and lawmakers like that just astounds me, because everything flows from the right to bear arms, and so we are going to go to any length to maintain this ideology that the right to bear arms. Meanwhile, I'm getting I'm getting overloaded with my texts from the Sandy Hook parents because those people's kids would be going to high school right now. So I think everything is so counterintuitive. Like, this is definitely, just beyond, but to then concoct this idea that you're protecting grandparents, that's so convoluted and so cockamamie. It's crazy. That's crazy to me. That's what you call crazy.
We can't even trust a kid with a car until they're either 16 or 18, varied by state. How are we going to trust them with something that could potentially kill somebody? Makes absolutely no sense.
And there was a horror story, 2-3 weeks ago, an older brother killed a younger brother, shot him. I don't want to go into it because it was a horror story. It's true, but what? On any level, again, to cock, like you said, hormones, that just the craziness of this country.
Yeah, and here's the thing is, for anybody listening that thinks I might be an anti-gun person, I actually love going shooting with my friends. One of my
Same
favorite
here.
guns to shoot is an AR-15. I know that there's a lot of controversy, but it's a fun gun to shoot. It's basically a glorified 22, and it makes me feel big for a little bit. It makes me feel more than 5'6", but the only thing I've ever shot with it is water bottles filled with some kind of colored liquid or something, because that's cool.
Yeah.
Bam! Yeah! Look at that thing. And but
It's a
here's the other
very
thing.
accurate weapon.
I
Yes.
am, and here's something I've heard another comedian say, and I can't remember his name right now. I am pro-gun, but I'm also pro-gun control because I'm an adult and I can have both thoughts in my head at the same time.
Mhm.
I
Fucking
have
A.
always I am pro gun, but there is a certain extent where I say it's not a toy. So for the guys that
Yeah.
have 30 guns in their collection because that's their toy, no. It's meant to protect you.
Yeah, you don't need
Correct.
you don't need
To-
30.
To ensure your safety. It's not a toy. It's not a fucking spoon collection. It's something that can potentially cause danger. And you don't need 30 guns. You just need a couple to ensure the safety of your household.
Yeah.
You know,
But after that,
On that
I'm
note,
anti-gun.
I got gun friends that would hate me saying this, but you ever notice the guys with the most gun have the least shit to protect?
yeah.
It's so true. Yeah.
On that note,
He's living in an apartment in Montebello.
on that note, my cousin, my cousin and his friends were playing. This was more than 15, 20 years ago, but they were playing in the friend's house, and the dad thought it smart to let the sons know the combination to the gun locker.
Oh God.
Obviously not smart because, and I'll get to why here in a second. But so they ended up, playing with the gun. Luckily, the safety was on when he pointed it at my cousin, and then the safety came off on his brother, and the dude ended up shooting his own brother in the face.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
No, that's real.
Mm.
That's real. Not a joke. So the documentary I saw explains if you're going to have a gun in the house, and your kids are at a certain age, there's specific things that need to be done if it's going to absolutely be in the house. And if you absolutely aren't going to be home and you believe your oldest son is going to protect mommy if the house gets robbed, well, there are stages and steps that you need to follow because one, it's not a toy. That's the number one thing you have to get out of their heads.
Yeah, as Nate put in his comment, it's not a toy, it's a tool.
It's not a toy, it's a tool. That's number one. Number two is you have to have them know what it can do. They have to know what it can do, because if they don't realize that it can kill and people are not coming back. That's it. It's game over.
Correct. Yeah.
It's game over. So
that's game. You know what? And compliments to Nate Hall, because he said he's been shooting firearms since he was 6 years old and respects him, because when I first started shooting firearms, it does one of two things to you. Either it scares the shit out of you so much that you respect the hell out of it, or you grow obsessed, hence the 30 guns in your one bedroom apartment in Montebello.
I don't want to name somebody.
shoot one shotgun.
Yeah, I have a family member. I won't name their name because I know they're probably watching, or someone they know is watching. I'll just get in deep trouble. But
now they know who you're talking about.
I don't give a shit. Hate me, I don't care. But yeah, they have like a shit ton of guns, and they buy, like, when bullets go on sale. It almost sounds like my dad. They just buy the most obsessive amount of bullets. Like I get if you go out sport shooting every now and then, or you go hunting, okay, but do you need like a couple thousand rounds? Do you really need a couple thousand rounds? Like, what are you? I don't. That just doesn't make sense to me.
I honestly think it's still a bad decision in any way, because when we're young, impulsivity is always still a problem. Like
100%.
we don't really react based off logic or common sense. If we feel a certain way, we do it. Like I honestly think there should still be an age cap. Giving a child something, even no,
it's
you
fucking,
can't trust a kid.
It's fucking insane.
Oh no, I agree.
Yeah, and it's a fun subject, but we have another real fun subject before our second guest. Ed, you're going to help us with this. We are going to think about movie crossovers that would appeal to a niche audience. Niche for those of you who say it a different way.
Okay.
Do you want to go first, or you want me to go first? Or
I'll do one.
Okay, you do
this
one.
One I thought was fun.
Okay.
Forrest Gump and Rosemary's Baby.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
just because in my head.
Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, I put a demon seed in your belly. It's gonna grow up and be messed up. What's going
Okay.
on?
All right. Mine is Billy Madison meets Jurassic Park.
Oh no. I'm repulsed by dinosaurs, Stefan.
Damn it!
These things are
This is-
disgusting.
It would have been Chris Farley making out with T-Rex instead of a penguin.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Anybody
you
got
go.
another one?
Anybody got an absurd one?
I'm such a nerd, like such a nerd and happy person. So mine is basically like, and I feel like they're the same type of movie. It's like The Wiz meets Star Wars. Just like I just totally,
that's cool.
I just totally see the scarecrow even on down the road into the galaxy, right? And don't nobody bring me no bad news. Darth Vader, in the factory scene, just,
Did you want to do another one, Dan? Or does Ed want to do one?
I got one. Showgirls with the next Karate Kid.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Sweet
Showgirls with the
'80s
next
movie.
Karate Kid.
Okay.
I actually never
the
saw
next
that.
Karate Kid is with Hilary Swank. That was a
Yep.
90s movie.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you get Elizabeth Berkley and you get Hilary Swank, and they're beefing at the strip club.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
They go to the tournament to battle it out.
to battle
Be
it
like,
out.
watch this, guys. Watch this.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Anybody
Stacey,
else
you got
another
one?
Any crossover? It could be wacky.
okay.
Doesn't have to make sense.
Maybe like Resident Evil meets Goodwill Hunting.
Okay.
How do you like them apples?
Look at
You
this
gotta
board
shoot 'em
and
in
look
the
at
face.
the T-cell structure.
Get
We
in the
need to
car.
beat this.
Get in
We
the
need
car.
to beat this.
We're going to the ABBA.
It's the zombies.
The zombies.
Zombies.
What, you got another one, Dan?
Well, I've got quite a few, but
No,
I
I
know
do
we're not going
too.
to get
I
all
wrote-
of them. But
I wrote a lot of them
I
too.
would really like to see Scooby-Doo mixed with Saw.
That would be interesting.
Roll, Raggy! Oh, I'm tied to this radio, Raggy! Oh, gee, Scoob! There's a cage on my head. What the hell?
Oh yeah.
Jinkies.
The other one I had. Let's see here. Daddy Daycare meets Son of Sam.
Why would you even put those together? What is wrong with you?
Just to see what happens. You're not behaving. The voices.
I got one.
Okay.
Breakfast Club meets, and you guys work with me. Okay, not the Avengers movie that came out in 19, but the Avengers film that came out after Black Panther, like where Thanos kills everything. So Thanos is like the principal, and the Breakfast Club are the Marvel universe. Like, and I don't know, they're just like
Infinity War?
Yeah, Infinity War. That would be it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I can't remember the
Just
name.
do this and the movie's over.
But that's why you
Only for half the kids or so.
That's why the movie's
Like,
crossed.
fuck you, Molly.
What about Total Recall with Mrs. Doubtfire?
Oh, okay. I could see that.
Well, wait, they had a part in Total Recall like that.
Your children are very misbehaved. Do they need quality? Do they need vodka? I'm here to give them to you. I am Job.
Okay. Here's basically it. It's just a saggy third boob this time. Instead of it being a perky third boob, it's gonna be a saggy third boob. Bam!
That's what I do. You just end it, dude. You just end it. No.
You guys, some of our folks got a couple. Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
E.T. meets Annabelle. E.T. meets Annabelle. Y'all see Glows? The Wizard. I guess the Wizard of Oz and Platoon. That's a
or the Wizard with Fred Savage.
Saw in My Little. I don't know My Little Pony.
Here you go, Pie. So I got another one.
Okay, go ahead.
For people that are movie buffs now, Midsummer with Trolls.
Wow.
Let's add Trolls to that.
Okay.
You know,
Which Trolls?
No, the Trolls movie. I get up again. Anyway, like,
Oh, the kids one. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it
Could
was
you
like
imagine,
Trolls
like-
2 or something.
like for anyone who's seen Midsummer, that one scene, you just have
I
like
was like,
Sparkle.
ew.
You have Sparkle at
Yes.
72
Yes.
years old, falls down, and you have a whole bunch of just, glitter go everywhere.
All right. Yeah, the other one I had was Frozen meets Stephen King's It. So instead of them singing "Let It Go," he sings "Let Them Float, Let Them Float." Yeah.
Yes.
Serious question. Is Frozen 2 on Disney Plus? Does anybody know? Just
I think so.
Yes, it
I
is.
think
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
They got to put it all on there, man, because they were
Okay, all right. Like that may be my next watch. Like I haven't seen either Frozen, so like.
Thank you for bringing that up, Dana. October 30th is
I'm
the
not
date
gonna-
for Mandalorian season 2.
Yes.
Mark your calendars. Baby Yoda is back, motherfuckers. October 30th, this next month. All right.
Damn.
All right, I
Yeah.
gotta see.
Baby Yoda
No.
was. Yeah.
Baby Yoda's life. I'm not gonna lie.
Anybody got any more?
I got Office Space. Office Space meets The Purge. You could be like, "Hey,
Oh.
Bob, the printer's not working,"
Well, that's good.
and then your boss is just like, "Nah, brah. Oh well." And then you hear the siren, and you're like, "All right, motherfucker, I said the printer ain't working."
So I got one for you. Back to the Future with Inglorious Bastards, and the reason why.
Wow.
The reason why
Wow.
is Doc Brown comes up to Marty and goes, "Marty, I made a time machine. We gotta get your parents. You made a time machine. Let's go fucking kill Hitler and then take care of my parents, dude. What the fuck is going on?"
Right there, dude. That'd be fucking awesome, dude. That'd be so dope, bro.
Back to the Bear Jew. Bear Jew is funny.
Sergio Wolf says Godfather 3 meets Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Oh, there you go.
Damn.
Hey, I've never seen a mafioso movie in high school. I'd fucking watch that. That'd be fucking dope.
Yeah,
That's
that wouldn't be bad. And Godfather
Never
3,
seen
I
that.
know I saw the first one. I don't know if the third, but I heard the third
first
one.
two are good. Third one is.
I saw the
How would Spicoli be in that one? That'll be interesting.
Who else? Now Nick says Boys in the Hood meets Friday, but I'm like, I feel like
Isn't that like a Spike Lee movie?
like I don't even know. Like, okay, like Boys in the Hood is the serious version of Friday. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
It is actually,
Like,
yes.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how, but anyway, thank you. No, all love, Nick. All love.
What
Nick.
about Adam's Family meets Schindler's List? How about that?
Oh my God.
Wait, I don't know where that
I mean,
happens.
That'd
Wednesday
be
would
like
love it.
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, wow.
Wait, did we not watch Adam's Family? And see
Dana, what
turned
about
them
Friday meets The Exorcist?
Oh my God! Now that would actually be funny. Like, oh my God!
What's wrong with you,
Block.
Smokey?
Because here's the thing: The Exorcist wouldn't have a chance. That's what
Nope.
I'm saying. Between Chris Tucker and
I can imagine Chris Tucker.
oh my God,
Just being like, what the fuck is his name?
Tiny Lister's
Ice
character.
Cube.
Tiny Lister's character. What was his name?
Debo.
Debo.
Yep.
Debo.
Uh-huh.
The
Nice
Exorcist wouldn't have a chance. The Exorcist-
What if
know
they
why.
get possessed?
I
oh
don't
my
know
God!
why, but
Then nobody else would have a chance if they get possessed.
What if
He's riding
they?
a bike around the block and his head is just turning sideways, vomiting
What
green.
what about Sister Act? Whoopi Goldberg's Sister Act with Friday the 13th.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you know what?
Yes.
I had one. Yeah, I had one like that with Friday the 13th stuff, and on my list it was
Oh,
Friday the
okay.
13th plus Groundhog's Day.
Oh, that would
Like-
be awesome.
Yeah, like Jason wakes up, or he kills a bunch of the teenagers. He goes back into the lake. He comes out of the lake thinking it's another year. No, it's the same day. It's the same fucking teenagers. By like day 5, he's just like,
I give up. I don't want to kid anymore.
Friday the 13th, I think, was my first horror movie. I think that's the first horror movie at the theater, because like there used to be, oh my God, there used to be horror on TV. What was that movie with? Oh my God, I think her name was Karen Black. Like there was this I can't recall. I'd have to. But I remember seeing that shit on TV. But at the theater, I believe. Oh, we lost Stacy. I'm sure she's coming back.
She'll be back.
Come back, Stacey. But yeah, Friday the 13th was my first. Like, we went on a group kind of, because I was in high school, so a bunch of us went on like a group situation and went to the theater and saw that.
Oh, yeah. Karen Black It's part of those whole trilogy of terror like movies and
That's what
stuff
I'm
like
talking
that.
about. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Ed. That's exactly. I was like, something with terror. I just like it wasn't Chucky doll, but it was some kind
the
of
tiki
doll.
doll. It was a tiki doll with a
And it was, oh my god, that, and I have to admit, I was a child, so that scared the shit out. I think I probably
yeah.
with teeth and,
right.
Little spear or a little knife or
Yeah,
something.
a little
Oh, yeah.
I think that's probably what I'm so scared of the dark today. But like,
Oh yeah, and it has that little. It speaks that little the language it speaks and shit.
right,
Well, it's all
right,
fucking.
yeah. Thank you for that. Terror.
Gotta have
Okay,
a rabbi
okay.
from West
I
LA,
have the
man.
best one. I have the best one. I'm sorry, but this is
Oh,
gonna
mine will
be
beat it.
Okay. Ace Ventura and the Fifth Element.
Oh,
Okay.
Good.
And
Like,
I'm actually a big Fifth
alrighty
Element fan.
then.
I think
He's
Fifth Element
the
was
best.
funny as hell. Like I love.
Oh
Fifth
no,
Element.
that's one of his best movies for sure.
I got a couple more here. I really want to say. So, how about Silence of the Lambs and Ratatouille?
oh,
Uh,
who's getting eaten first?
I don't even know like where to go with that.
Hey, I made a special soup for you. Don't worry about the meat. All right, fine.
Special meat, eh?
And here's one that I think is great. Sorry if it offends anybody in the world, but Passion of the Christ and Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh my goodness!
3 days late. Yeah, here's 3 days later. He's alive. I swear.
Oh, that's
I
dark. That's so dark.
That's interesting.
That's so dark. The only other one that came to my
Get
mind
out.
was King Kong. King Kong meets Basic Instinct.
Oh yes!
Oh man, when he does the
You
reveal.
just see the leg crossing.
Right when he opens his
That's what I'm
leg.
gonna say. And it's so like Sharon Stone, God love her, was on Instagram Live pleading about the next election. But like that's, I swear, like when you said that, the first thing I thought of is that's the Sharon Stone movie where blah 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 blah. Here's I know we're it's time for our next guest actually in a few minutes. In a couple seconds, but Fatal Attraction meets anything. Like I'm trying to think like. Because that was such a, oh my goodness, just a game changer in terms of pop culture.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm trying to figure out what is the what could we cross it with to make it interesting.
Species.
Huh?
Species.
Huh?
Species is a good movie.
That movie freaked me out as a kid, and I still think it's good.
When Natasha
okay?
Henstridge.
Hey, imagine you're
watch
basically.
part 2. Still gotta watch my part 2. You gotta watch my part 2.
Well, everybody,
I love my movies.
Well, Ed, it's been great having you here. Thanks
Yes.
for coming and doing the show.
No, thank you guys for
Yeah,
having me.
hey, anybody, you need to check out the Ed Namrok podcast. Can we put up his Facebook, his
Putting it up
Instagram,
right
that
now.
stuff?
Yeah.
You definitely got to check out his stuff. He talks. I mean, this guy. I'm hoping one day I can be that type of person that just he can talk about anything and make it interesting. It's freaking awesome. Here it is, Facebook.com, Ed Namrok.
And when are you going to be doing your podcast? Tonight? Tomorrow?
I might be doing one tonight, and then hopefully in the future I can schedule all of you on mine.
I was going to say, if you do anything else with politics, man, I mean, I don't, and here's the thing, but I'm more interested. I was going to say, are you going to do any more broadcasts with any more of the propositions or any more of that stuff? Like, I mean, I'm not a one-trick company, but that's
the reason why is just to send a reminder to people, especially the people that need to be informed and the people living in California, especially in my beloved Southern California. They have to get out. Oh, and do your census. I'm going to do a video on that too. Right. Very easy. But yeah, probably in the next month, closer to election time. So.
And you guys know, and Ed, you got to do it. I told everybody the other night, I was like, we all need to early vote because they say that there's an asteroid that may hit us. And I'm just like, listen, everybody, can y'all early vote so we can at least know before we get pummeled by the asteroid that we had a different president? Like, can we just everybody please vote so that we, at least so we can go down, having
give us hope for humanity before it's snuffed out.
Right. Before it starts over. That is our Thanos right there.
All right, everybody. Well, hey.
Thank you, Ed.
Thank you very much, Ed.
Thank you.
All right, so now, who's Stacy? Give us an intro here.
Yay! I get to introduce this incredible woman who is probably the most outspoken, sexually person I've ever met and have had the pleasure of meeting. She is a true gift. Her name is Courtney Kocak, and she hosts Private Parts Unknown, a podcast that talks about sexual experiences and being open with your sexuality. And she also has a bunch of cool stuff that we're going to go into. Hi.
Yay!
Hey guys,
Hello.
Welcome,
thank
Courtney.
you for having me.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
Wait, Courtney, did I pronounce your last name right? Or did I do a
Kocak.
horrible
I think
job?
you
'Cause need to
did.
correct me if I did.
I
It's
think you did.
Cossack? Oh.
Okay,
Oh,
thank
what
you.
did she say?
Mwah.
Yeah, I
No,
think
she
she did
said
it.
I think she said it right. I think
Yeah.
I probably said it wrong before. So,
You guys, what about Field of Dreams and Children of the Corn?
Oh, I like that.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
If
one.
you
Oh.
build it,
Just
they
wanted to
will
toss one
come.
in.
As long as Kevin Costner lives, I'm totally in.
If you have a broken auto
Happy.
shop, they will come.
That's right, Linda Hamilton.
But we
awesome.
definitely wanted. So, Courtney, I'm gonna just do a really brief thing because in reality, you're a spectacular character that is more than I could explain.
Oh my God, what an intro too. She's like the most sexual being, and I'm just sitting here in my t-shirt like, what's up?
Okay. Let me give you guys a backstory. I met Courtney through a stand-up class that we took together. Okay, the jokes that Courtney told on stage were okay. I'm raunchy. Courtney's level of raunchy was like, God damn, girl!
I feel like
you said that."
Stacy, you really take the cake, but I'm honored.
But she is so talented and so good. But the reality is, you're so open with your sexuality, which is something that a lot of women feel timid about. What is your perception on that? Why do you think women should continue being timid? Do you think people should be more outspoken about it?
I feel like everyone has a personal journey with it, right? Because there's so much shame that we get early on, just like when you're just being a little child person and you're figuring it all out. And then someone tells you, don't touch yourself there, or like, whatever. And then you start to have all these bad connotations, right? And then you get older and maybe you have sexual experiences, and now, thank God, we have like a better language about consent. But, when I was growing up, we didn't really have that. And so, then you add up all those kind of sexual experiences that happen. And then you've got some trauma that you have to unpack, or at least I did. Mm-hmm. And so I think, in my like late 20s, I'm 36 right now, but in, my early 30s, I really started like getting in touch with my body and my desires, not my partner's desires. And I have a podcast about it. So it just led me down this whole path that I never even anticipated going, but it's been amazing.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to tell everyone to pay very close attention. Okay, we're going to have a Q&A, but if you guys have questions for Courtney, you definitely can. Courtney not only has her podcast, which is, again, under there. You guys can definitely check it out. She also helps run the Bella Twins podcast, and she has another additional podcast. So she is the queen of podcasts. But the great thing about Private Parts Unknown is she gets to talk about the fact that she got a happy ending in Tokyo.
Ooh,
true.
What happened? Like, how?
Yes. Okay. Valid question. Totally valid question. We went to Tokyo before early February, like when Corona was just a little speck in the future, that we didn't know was going to be this nightmare. We were like, should we be worried about this? We were like, no, we'll go. We just like took a mask in our bag. We're not being careful. But anyway, that's a side note. But we took this trip to Tokyo for the podcast to interview a bunch of locals and people with interesting perspectives on sexuality. We interviewed this really cool sex worker named Yuki and her friend Joe, who is actually from the States, but he lives in Tokyo now, and he studies subcultures. So they were a really great interview to do together. And who else did we talk to? Oh, we talked to Chris, who is a gay man who lives in Japan, and gay marriage is not legal there. And so it was really interesting to talk to him about that. And then we talked to Hiroko, who is this badass journalist. She's also in her 30s, just a super cool chick. And Marina, a girl who is half Japanese and half American. Oh. And in that cult, it's very interesting how they see that in Japan. Like it is like a little bit of a second class. Like it has certain privileges, and then it also, you're treated like a second class citizen. So anyway, fascinating perspectives. But at the end of Hiroko's interview, she was like, we were like, is there anything else we should know about, you know, sexuality in Tokyo? And she basically dared us, because earlier in the interview, she had told us about this feature that she'd done on this. It's called home health delivery. And that is it's basically where they bring they come to you with an erotic massage. And she told us about basically like 5,000 guys, Japanese guys, auditioned to be these dudes, to be the jerk off guys. And they were taught by, my co-host calls it the clit commander, but I like to think of it as like a Mr. Miyagi of sensual massage. And so she'd already told us about this whole question. Do you have a question, Stacey?
Oh no, I was doing the wax on, wax off with.
Oh yes,
totally.
I'm sorry.
He's doing the
no. I was like, I will definitely hold for questions. So she told us about this. It sounded amazing, but like we have partners. Our heads weren't even in this headspace. But then she dared us. She was like, you guys should get this service. And we were like, what? That sounds crazy. But then we were like, fuck, maybe we should. So my co-host called her husband and like asked for permission. And I texted my dude that I live with, my boyfriend, and also asked for permission. And we also played them a little bit. Like we were like, Wade said it was okay. Max said it was okay. So, you know, to get the permission. But I don't think it was too shady. They were very cool with it. They gave us the go ahead. And so on our last night in Tokyo, our last night was a banger, you guys. We went to
a banger, literally, huh?
Literally a banger. We went to the Golden Guy, which is all these tiny little bars, and met this, and they all have like a very unique God, where I'm blanking on what they're called, but basically the barkeeps are all like, it's so much about their personality. So that was awesome. Then we went to this sex club in Ginza, and it was wild. It was like there was rope play happening, and the ladies were like talking to us. You scantily clad, gorgeous women were like kept refilling our drinks. We had no idea how drunk we were getting. And all this fetish shit is happening around us, and it was like a very sexy vibe. Wow. So then, we rushed back to our hotel, which, side note, the sex worker that we interviewed earlier was like, oh yeah, I take a lot of clients at the hotel that we were staying. And then we wound up being people that got paid for sex at that same hotel, which I thought was hilarious. But yeah, on our last night, we took turns. Like I waited in the lobby. I went first. and my co-host waited in the lobby, and then we switched. But it was amazing, you guys. It was so amazing. He was so sweet. We didn't speak each other's language, so like I had to type on Google Translate. I was like, I've never done this before. Show me how. So basically, how it goes is you each shower first. And then, so we took turns showering, and he had like a gift bag of sex toys. He was waiting for me at the door with a gift bag of sex toys.
That's awesome.
And then it was so funny. And then we had our little Google Translate exchange. And then he spent a super limited amount of time on the actual massage. And admittedly, I was a little late, but still. And then they do this like kissing, sucking technique. That's like, they were definitely taught that by Mr. Miyagi. They were definitely taught how to do that. And it feels really fucking good. They should teach guys in America how to do that. And then, yeah, he like, this is what I was not expecting. Because oral sex is really intimate, right? So I didn't think that would even be something that we needed to address. I thought that was off the table. But he gets down and like does a couple kitten licks. Like, which I get. It's not like he's gonna fully go for it, you know? Right. It's like he's a busy man. He's got a lot of clients. He can't be doing that with everyone. He would get tired. But I was like, whoa, I didn't ask my boyfriend about that part. I was like, okay, we're good. And then legit, I could have got a freebie. He would have definitely, he tried to have sex with me, which my co-host was like, oh, I can't believe he violated his professional code of conduct. And I was like, no, that is a coupon. That is like, he was trying to give me a discount. That was not, I was trying to pay for sex. It's not like he violated me. So anyway, I politely turned him down on that. And then he like jerked me off with a sex toy, which I can do a better job on myself. But it was so erotic that like this strange man who I'd never met before, we don't speak the same language, was like jerking me off. There's a full moon outside the window of the hotel. My best friend is downstairs. Like we just had this crazy night. Yeah, it was just crazy. And like what's so interesting about it is that it made me I know people who are actually polyamorous say this all the time, but it like made me love my boyfriend even more, or like appreciate, like it wasn't about him. Nothing in that situation was about him or like disrespecting him. And the fact that he just was cool enough to just let me do that, I thought was so dope.
It might have been different if there was more to it, and especially if when he did the kitten licks, he was giving some suction. That might have been a little more of a problem, because I think a lot of guys don't know suction works also. So make sure you try that.
Okay, just an FYI, guys, Courtney is a person to watch because even Business Insider went ahead and featured this. Okay, Business Insider.
They did.
Yes, Business Insider.
Maybe someday it'll be the New York Times, but right now we'll take Business Insider.
Plenty of people would take Business Insider.
That gives me, well, it makes me want to ask, do you think people are more open with their sexuality over there than here?
Okay, that's a really good question. This is what we sort of learned. And if you're listening and you're like, whoa, this sounds crazy, check out it's basically a 4-part series on Private Parts Unknown. You'll hear all the interviews and the details of this. But basically what we learned is that in America, we have like a very business inside her. Great joke, Nick.
We just did that one. 3 of us.
Did you? Oh, I missed it. Sorry.
Ba-dum-bum.
Good job, you guys, then. Sorry.
Good job, all of us.
So wait, what was I? Oh, shame versus guilt. So we are like a shame-based society. So
Right.
and they are like a guilt-based society. So like we are guilt-based. So we are guilt-based because of all the religion stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we feel guilty whether anybody finds out about our indiscretions or not. You know what I mean? We just have that like ingrained
Brainwash. Yeah, we've been-
that we're just it just sits with us, right? And it's kind of toxic in a way. And theirs is just about shame, which is problematic in its own way.
Right.
But like they'll do whatever. It's just like don't like be super open about it, and like as long as no one finds out, it's okay. Is kind of their MO.
Mhm.
And they don't carry around the same like heaviness that kind of religion adds to it, or at least, you know, our culture based on
Compared to here,
the
yeah.
So it's a little different in that way. But so yeah, there is like all this huge sex industry there. And I think it is because they have this like little bit of separation where it's like, as long as nobody finds out, it's cool.
So it's like Vegas. What
Yeah.
happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
It is like
Yeah.
Vegas. That should be their motto. Except it would be like Japanese characters.
Yeah, we're the Vegas of the East, and then Hello Kitty comes out and offers you a hand job.
Do you think that this should be something women should experience, like an eat, pray, love type situation, but with whips and chains?
Listen, yeah, I feel like you should get your freak on however, you know, it is whatever turns you on, whatever you want to explore, you totally should. And we don't have this here. Like the way that works. I've heard of, since then, we interviewed a local sex worker, and she talked about an erotic massage similar to this, but a little more, it's, I guess, more of like a yoni type massage. And that is something you can get in LA, but we don't have this like whole erotic part of it that is like sex for sale for women, really. So take a trip, go to Japan. I normally wouldn't promote sex tourism, but these were very happy sex workers. They seemed very happy to be doing their jobs. So
sex tourism is totally okay if it's consensual.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
No one's being trafficked, then it's like, yeah.
Right.
Gotta also explain what a yoni is, because I know what that is, but a lot of people don't.
Yeah, that is like the term for the pelvic work that they do.
Slang term. Well, yeah.
For vagina.
Oh.
Yeah. But a lot of times it is used for work that they do.
My wife didn't even know what that was. Yoni? What the
That sounds like a Pokemon to me. I don't know.
There was a big movement.
Oh my god, amazing!
On yoni pearls and yoni eggs and things that you could do, like
yoni wash. There's yoni wash.
You can put
yoni eggs,
and you can put them in. You can put them in so that you can exercise your stuff. And so like I love Regina Hall, and she was talking to Jimmy Fallon about putting yoni eggs in to tighten, you know, her stuff. And so so when you said, you know, like my mind went immediately to the accessories that, you know, that are popular.
Yeah, totally.
It's like a gym for your Kegels.
Hey man,
it's very goopy. It's Gwyneth Paltrow would definitely be selling this.
And it's
very,
healthy.
very goopy.
It's healthy and it's natural. That's the thing people gotta remember. It's healthy and it's natural. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Now, in reference to that, you know, there's always this thing where men are shy to approach toys to a woman. What's your stance on that?
Oh, interesting. So I feel like I'm a little, I don't know, like I don't use toys with my partner very often. And I feel like it's kind of the same. It's just like I'm the best master of this toolkit. So like when I'm having sex with him, I kind of just want to have sex with him. But I think like, if that's what you both want, I think it's great. He is a little, I don't think, crazy about it. I think he's like, why do we need this extra thing? And also, I'm totally cool, like, being a feral masturbator just all by myself. I don't need anybody to see that necessarily.
That's a neat term, feral masturbator. I enjoy that.
Just an FYI.
Not as cute when a guy does it.
A lot of her stand-up comedy talks about, which again, raunchy as hell. I love it so much. If you guys if you guys love dirty jokes, you need to check Courtney out. She is incredibly funny.
Courtney, do you have any shows coming up? Do you have anything coming up?
I just did the Burbank Comedy Festival, but I don't have any Zoom shows coming. I can't wait till stand-up comes back, like, for real.
Right. No, I can't. I went to a lot of shows during the festival, but unfortunately, I wish I had known your name, because when now that I see him, I'm like, I did remember seeing the name, because I performed there in this Zoom climate. I've been performing there, but not for the festival. I performed in their volunteer showcase, and the next week in the Wittiest Women. But I could swear that I saw your name, but I didn't, like, just because names stick out. I was a teacher, so names stick out. But I just didn't know that we would even have on the broadcast, because I'm sure you were on shows with some of the other women that I was there. Lindsay Loon and Valerie, just all these women, Dana Eagle, everybody.
That was the Flappers one, right? Okay.
So well, keep us. Let us know. Like, we want to definitely big up you. I just looked at the time, like, okay, we're getting ready to wrap up.
I mean, my first open mic at Flappers, I wanted to get in the spirit, so I taped my boobs down. So,
oh boy.
Nick
you have to make sure they're flat.
Started OnlyFans in the comments, and I just want to let everyone know I already did that.
Right.
Okay,
like in with the last, I know we don't have a lot of time, but where's like, do you want to share, Courtney, about your OnlyFans?
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So here's the short version of that story. Basically, when the George Floyd stuff went down, I just felt frustrated about, like, what can I do that's bigger than just myself a little bit. And I saw this other comedian, Sarah Mowry, had, and I think she got the idea from, like, that brush fire, the girl that did it for the brush fires. But basically she was like, if you send me your receipt that shows that you donated to Black Lives Matter, I will send you a tit pic. So I basically did the same thing with my nudes. Right. And I was floored. I raised $33,000, and I was a hard ass. Like, if they didn't have a legit receipt, I was like, I'm sorry, go back and get another receipt and come back, and then I'll send it to you. So I thought that was incredible. And then I was like, Jesus, do people want this content from me? So I did start an OnlyFans. It's Coco Peep Show is my handle. And I actually love it because I love exhibitionism, and I'm kind of turned on by it myself. And I'm still donating 10% to Movement for Black Lives. So I want to, kind of keep that going too.
Wow. Well, we want to have you back. I would, just again, with the next show you have, whatever, we want to have you back. I think, because are you familiar with, there's a great documentary series on Netflix called Explained. And
yes, I've seen a couple episodes. I heard you talk about that. Yeah.
Right. And there's the female orgasm explained. Have you seen that episode?
Oh, I haven't seen that episode. I got to check it out.
Is that where Ben Shapiro says it doesn't exist, or?
It could, I haven't watched it in a while, but they had statistics, they had so much good stuff, and and I think that's your homework, Courtney, until I see you again. Watch the female orgasm explained, because I think there's something there that you could connect with in terms of just because I was so blown away. They thought women were crazy, they were putting women in this, it was just all kind of.
Yeah, women suffered a lot, dude.
Right, and then bringing it to present, there's a comedian on there who did an experiment because she said she had never had an orgasm, and so then she was doing kind of the live self-pleasuring to have the orgasm during either a podcast. It's so good. It's so good.
Ooh, I can't wait to watch. Good rec. Thank you so much. And thank you guys. This has been so fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining. And definitely we want you back in the future.
Love to.
This girl is super kick-ass.
Yes.
Again, guys, if you want to do something for the greater good at the same time while enjoying your hand, Courtney, please, your
Coco
hand,
Pizza.
your hand will go ahead and be doing something towards the greater good, towards Black Lives Matter. So, come on, guys. OnlyFans.
Oh, come on, put that
we
Nick comment up.
Which
Put that
one?
last one up. His please one.
Oh my
that's
lord.
good.
Come on.
Nick's
It's
crushing
wordplay. Please come back.
Oh lord. Okay, there you go.
But yeah,
Hey, reciprocation is key.
He
Reciprocation is
ejaculated really fast. Okay, so I was just there you go. He's a premature
Courtney's social media will be on the links below. Again, she's doing this towards a great cause and
Private Parts Unknown, right? Podcast.
talk about an
Podcast.
enjoyable experience towards something good. So,
Guys, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yay.
We have had a great show today. We actually had to skip our Ask Red of the Week because we were having too much fun talking about Japanese full pleasure massages, and it's nice.
Hey man, if they offered that service here, I tell you now, it'd be $1 billion industry, dude. That is not a joke. That is like facts.
They should be doing. It sounds like they should be doing free webinars on the internet. Put your email and there's a free webinar for everything. So
you can get that if you go under the right bridge. Just the right bridge, you get there.
Herpes?
I mean,
you can go under the right bridge and get gonorrhea and herpes. Is that what you're saying?
Well, you can get a full service massage if you go under the right bridge, and it only costs $20, but it's a little shady.
Oh boy.
Without teeth, likely.
Oh boy.
And yes, it's a little shaky. It's a little shaky.
Oh my lord. Uh-oh. Did you see what Ronnie put?
What?
Stefan about to go broke. He's saying if the business gets here, he's like, Stefan gonna go broke.
It makes me wonder if anybody knows what a weeboo is. How many of them go there and get full service massages? A weeboo is usually a white American that's really obsessed with Japanese culture, and they tend to go to these places. Yeah. What are those? The princess lounges or something where like they dress like geishas and they serve you like a master, and these guys are really like, but maybe they're going to the tea houses too much.
I never been to there.
Yeah, like Olo.
Don't know.
Yeah, Olo from Beetlejuice. Yeah, Olo from Beetlejuice, like a total weeboo like that. Like, but no, if you haven't looked it up, look up weeboos. It's hours of laughs. It's kind of like looking up bronies. It's hours of laughs.
Love you too, Ronnie. So happy to have you be a part. Yeah.
Hey, Ronnie.
So many great.
Thank you,
So many great.
And
Thank you.
Oh, and then Nick, lets you know in Santa Ana, you can, if you're curious to go get a full service massage, Santa Ana, where everything happens.
Again, Gummalicious. I doubt they have any teeth.
Well, and people gotta understand too, right? With great power comes great responsibility. If you're gonna go to one of those parlors, understand something very crucial. They get rated all the time. Okay.
With great power comes great responsibility because they got no teeth. I ain't gonna pronounce this right.
If you're gonna partake, just be ready. Those places get rated. So.
That's how we get rid of a few Republican senators. So,
like Anthony Weiner?
Well, he wasn't Republican, but he was doing something different, right? Wasn't he texting to underage girls his wiener?
I don't like so much dick pics, like with so much. I forgot about Anthony
and you know what bothered me about that he turned out that way? Did you see all the clips before that about how good he was? He was such a great person in the House as far as his arguments. He did that. He did so many great arguments, and then you find out. Dude, you do this thing. That's one thing that people got to know. You can do all the good in the world, but you can do one bad thing that negates all of it, and you have to have discipline not to do that.
Wow. I hated that one was a
I think it's just a front though. At the end of the day,
I forgot about all that.
They decided to go towards sexual desire more than family priorities.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was stupid. Why would anybody even risk that at that point? You stupid.
I
just,
think
you just, I mean, like on the there's the funny side of it, and then there's the hard side of it. Everybody's, you know, there's these, you know, wounds and defects, and when you're wounded as a child and then turn into defects when you get to be an adult, and if none of it is healed, then here we are. You're doing all this great stuff because that's part of that's part of who you are, and then there's this other unhealed stuff. So then you're doing other things and hoping that that's going to turn out okay.
But you know what it is too is we put people on a pedestal, and we put expectations on them that make them not even human. And then when they do something that's human, we're like, hey, shame on you. Why did you do that? Why are you so human? Be a robot.
Well, I think, you know, also with like the guys that ended up on Epstein's Island, I think some of these people, they get rich and powerful. They've done everything. They've been able to buy everything that's legal. And some of them just go, you know, what can I do that the commoner can't do? And not all of them, but some of them just get this perversion where they're like, what can I do that average people can't do because I have all this money? And then they end up taking a flight on the Lolita Express.
Yeah, that shit's disturbing, man.
You know what? It's going to be a
great thing to end
very
this.
long, hard road for him to come back.
Right, like he's
the
that's
triple entendre. Triple entendre.
Very funny. All right, you guys, we got a minute. We got 1 minute. We got 1 minute.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you all our regulars. Thanks for everybody commenting.
Yes.
Sorry if we get up. We get so many. Thanks for watching. And anybody else want to say something?
Happy birthday to Stacy.
Happy birthday, Stacy. Hey,
happy birthday.
Please come back from Virginia, completely healthy.
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Please come back from Virginia, completely healthy and intact, and
COVID zombies.
yeah, and watch out for the redneck deers.
Right. Watch out for the deers, period, because they, you know. But we certainly, even though we don't get to touch each other, we miss you stateside. We miss you here.
Miss you guys too. My hair and skin miss you too.
Have a good one, everyone. We'll see you next week. Thank you.